Well, hello, friends. I think it's trying to get started. Yes, well, hello, friends. It is good to be with you tonight. Just trying to get everything set here. Welcome to my dining room. My name is Amy Offerly, for those of you who don't know me. I am our events director for Women at IBC. And so basically that means my title is I get to host parties for Jesus, which is kind of the best job ever. And so I am super excited to do a little behind the scenes work with you tonight. It's funny because we're all in our houses, and then here I am talking about hospitality and tablescapes and celebrations, and I'm sure that your first thoughts were, I don't think she understands where we are right now. But the thing is, I do. And the thing is, we can celebrate no matter where we are. There's always something to celebrate. And as a matter of fact, I am looking at the comments right now and celebrating the fact that some of my friends are online. I think my mom and perhaps even my mother-in-law are online tonight participating with us. So hi to all of you, my favorites. You know who you are. But the thing is, all of you are my favorites because we are desperately in need of human contact. And so I will just call each one of you my favorites today. I am just glad that all of you are here and we get to do this together. So my role tonight is just to tell you a little bit of what it's like hosting something. Like I said, I have the best job in the business, and I get great joy out of creating and curating spaces for, right now, my job is just to create spaces for women, but probably for anybody, to create these spaces where we can come together and love on one another and get to know one another in a safe environment, to just, enter into relationship. And I know that we have all been doing that virtually, and I know it's been kind of awkward and weird right now, but that doesn't mean we can't even practice and think about things we can do in the future. And so I actually want to think through some of those things tonight. And to make this the best it possibly could, I asked my husband to take our dependents on a walk. So he is out somewhere in the neighborhood with our second grade daughter and our 11-year-old dog. And I am thrilled about that, or you would hear Kids Bop on playing and a dog barking asking for bones. So fortunately, it's just you and me tonight. We get to hang out for a little bit. And so I want to tell you a little bit about hospitality. I love hospitality. I'm going to scroll down here and see what's going on. I love hospitality because, you see, when I think of Jesus, I think of him as the ultimate host. Jesus, he didn't just host people, and he didn't just let them know that he loved them. Jesus went to people where they were. He saw their needs ahead of time, and he went and met them at that place. And so he was the ultimate host. And where Jesus invited strangers into his home, when Jesus invited strangers into his space and made them disciples. And so we get the opportunity to invite strangers into our space and make them our friends. And it has been such a joy. In the past, for almost 5 years, I have been part of a supper club where myself and two friends got together. We each invited one person and then made a supper club of 6 of us. And the goal was we were to invite one person that we didn't know very well but wanted to get to know better. And now over those 4.5, 5 years, the 6 of us have developed very deep relationships. And the thing is, when we started that supper club, it was not about, hey, I want everybody to get to know me, because that's not hospitality. Hospitality is, I want you to come into my home so I can get to know you. I want to create a space where you can come into my home and be completely yourself so that I can get to know you and hear your story. Because you see, when we surround ourselves with people who are just like us, we really only know a limited aspect of the character of God. But when we invite people from all walks of life and all different places into our space, we can even more richly learn about the character of God. And so hospitality is not just opening your door, but it is opening your door to experience as many people who are different than you as you possibly can. Because when we do that, we truly experience the kingdom. We truly experience the full aspect of God's character. And that is exactly what Jesus did. Jesus went to all kinds of people who were not like him. And I'm so thankful, because that means he would have chosen me, actually. And so what we do as part of hospitality, as my job as the event director at Women at IBC, even in my own home, I get to open my door and invite people in and get to know them. I get to learn their stories, and as a host, I get to create opportunities to get to know people. I create spaces that say, thanks for coming. I was expecting you. You are important, and so I made a space for you to come be with us. And so we're going to do that tonight. And the thing is, when you're talking hospitality, one of the most important things is not to get caught up on fancy. The food and the decor, they do not have to be extravagant. They do not have to be amazing. They don't have to be outstanding, because actually the people you're inviting in, they're already extravagant. And so you're already having an extravagant experience with just the people who come in, regardless of the food, regardless of the decorations. And you see, we lose the beauty of hospitality if we focus on the food, if we focus on the decor. But the beauty is that we invite others into a space so that they can truly be themselves, and so that we, as the hosts, get to enjoy them, that we get to love on them, that we get to ask about them, we get to learn their stories. And when we share that love, when that love is just bubbling up and over, we get to express to them the love that is deep in our soul that Jesus gives to us. And when we share that love over and over and create a space where people know that they are valued and seen and loved, we get to the point where they will eventually ask, what is this love that is so extravagant? And then simply there is the gospel. We don't have to make it complicated. We don't have to make it crazy. And we get to say, you see, by inviting you into my space, by reaching out and seeing you as an image bearer, as someone who God loves, and as someone that I'm going to choose to love and befriend, then we get to show them that Jesus has this amazing and unconditional love that we want to share with them. And once our friends get a taste of that love, I don't think they'll ever be able to back away from it. And so the thing is, hospitality, although I love throwing parties, I love doing the decorations, and all of the things and the food and whatever, that's not the most important part. Jesus showed us as the ultimate host that the most important part is to meet people where they are and to show them that you love them. And now, one of my favorite ways to do that actually is by creating a space that shows them that I was expecting them. And so one of my favorite things is to create a tablescape. And now I didn't realize that using this word tablescape was different than centerpiece. So a friend asked me, what's the difference between a centerpiece and a tablescape? And I said, well, I think a centerpiece is just decoration, and a tablescape curates an experience. And so that may just be my goofy definition, but I think a tablescape actually curates an experience. So we're going to make one. So the thing is, with a tablescape, you can use whatever is in your house. And so what I did is I just went and collected a few things around my house. And now, to keep it simple, we have paper products. Like, I keep these little boats around. I bought these on Amazon. You can buy a large package. And these are great for just little appetizers, for popcorn, or like a little just neat things in here beforehand. And I love paper placemats. I love things we can throw away. They're kind of my favorite, but I'll put those aside right now. So one of my secret tricks that I'm going to tell you about that I use a lot is wrapping paper. And so tonight I created our experience just out of some wrapping paper that I found in my house. And so I went and found this wrapping paper, and it just so happens that I have a lot of green in my house, so it's kind of easy. This is my favorite color. And so I took this wrapping paper and I trimmed it down, and I made actually a table runner out of this wrapping paper. This is one of my most favorite things to do. is just to cut a piece of wrapping paper, usually in half, and to create a table runner out of it. So I'm just going to check. I think, yes, you should be able to see that. And so what you'll see is I found things around my house, just some white books. And another friend said, where do you find white books? And I said, I take the covers off my books. And so you find white ones, and they're white with gold writing, which makes them even more beautiful. Some lemons, a little juice glass. I have this little vase with some flowers in it. And then I cut some greenery out of the hedges in my front yard. And so what you can do with your wrapping paper is you can just take this, make it your table runner. This is the cheapest, most beautiful, most, you can throw it away when you're done. Let's just say that. That's my favorite thing. And so I usually pull a cake plate. I love collecting cake plates, but these are things that you could have in your house. I have this great green bowl. And so I just combined some of these things to create a tablescape. So one of the most important things also is to create in trios or in odd numbers. If you create in even numbers, then people, your eyes expect symmetry. And the thing is, we can always produce symmetry with the things around our house. So if you work in odds, you don't have to worry about the symmetry and the craziness. So I work in threes. I pulled these lemons from the grocery store. It is a very cost-effective way. Always use fruit. Fruit is so beautiful. And I mean, this speaks back to creation. And actually, God makes these incredibly beautiful things. And then I took this juice glass, and I'll just make it kind of the centerpiece of this cake plate. And actually, these are my hedges from the front yard. And if you live in an apartment, if you live in a house, wherever you live, there are hedges. Go trim them and keep them as your own. And so I take these hedges and I lay them around just kind of like a wreath and make this lovely little decoration to create my little tablescape. And before you know it, you have a wreath of greenery that's just beautiful. And I drop in one of these candles that I bought in mass from IKEA. And so here, I'll get my Aim and Flame, that is the all-dependable Aim and Flame, that is the mighty flame. And so here we have created with the juice glass and candle this beautiful tablescape. It is simple. It communicates spring. It looks just inviting. We want to have you over. These books, you can create height and do something like this. And there we go. And now I had a taller, actually, candle holder that this would look great on. But the thing is, if you use something tall, then it completely defeats the purpose of when you're sitting across the table from someone, you want to be able to see their face. And so don't use anything too tall, but don't be afraid to use different heights when you're doing this. And something really popular right now is the farmhouse feel. And so we can easily do that by just taking a tray, a galvanized metal tray, and using that as part of your centerpiece. I'm going to put this over here for now because I actually pulled some greenery, some more. So this is Dusty Miller, and then whatever this holly is. Y'all, I'm not a plant person. I don't know. You can ask my mom. She's on the stream. Maybe ask her what it is. But this is Dusty Miller, and then some greenery. I still have my lemons. I still have my books because what says farmhouse more than just some books that you can set aside to read? And then before you know it, we have this cute little house centerpiece. And we still have the green and white wrapping paper. We still have greenery in this random vase. I just had this sitting around my house. And these are things that I just collected. Now, here's the thing. If you want to take it, let me check our time. Okay, we're doing great. We have a few minutes. If you want to take it up maybe another notch, what you could possibly do with your next step is maybe add some gold, add something a little more fancy. My daughter, when I was collecting stuff today, she brought me this bird. But here's the thing. When you are working on a tablescape, you do not have to go to the store. You do not have to buy something fancy like a $10,000 chandelier. That is not what people care about. But you think when you're getting to know someone, they're getting to know you. So these are things that matter to me. So actually these things, because I found them around my house, because I pulled things from everywhere, it actually tells a story about me. And so I'll take these things and let's just take it up a notch, add some gold. Let's just pull the mirror off the wall. My husband knows that after I have a party, I kind of have to redecorate the house because I just pull things from anywhere and everywhere. And this was my grandparents' gold mirror. Isn't it beautiful? And so I found a way to I love green and gold. This is probably one of my favorite conversation pieces. It's one of my favorite things from my grandmother. If you have a mirror like this, pro tip, I just put some floral wire on the back. I wired it and hung it in my gallery wall. So it's really easy. If you have an old mirror from a grandmother, you too can hang it on your wall. So the thing is with my cool books, they have gold writing, so they complement the gold. I'm still gonna keep my lemons around because lemons are always a good thing. Bring back my cake plate with the natural wreath of bringing a little bit of the outside inside. I think we'll set this stuff aside for now, but maybe we'll add our little birdie this time and just put him over here because you can get a little creative, you can get a little wild sometimes. Oh, the little birdie doesn't have to be on the tray, it can sit to the side, and then we'll add this guy right back up here. And you see, you've now taken your tablescape up a notch. And the thing is, none of these are super fancy. None of these are just like out of this world because here I have a vase from the dollar spot at Target and the greenery out of my front yard. I have something that I don't even know where I found this, but an old wooden candlestick that's beautiful. Leaves, a cake plate that I put birthday cakes on, books that I've been given, lemons that you can find in the store, and wrapping paper. And the thing is, you can use stuff from wherever. Just create different heights, work in trios. The thing that I do that I didn't tell you beforehand is I usually have a neutral and a color. So for this, my neutral was white, my color was green, and then I threw in a splash of yellow. Green is my favorite color, so it's all over my house, and so it's easy. And so here, when you walk in, you see I have made a space for you. I lit this candle a couple minutes ago. I trimmed the hedges out front in order to make a space where we can sit down and enjoy time with one another, where it's a place that I can say, friend, tell me you are. I created this space just for us so that we could enjoy each other. And the thing is, you may think that, I don't know, it's kind of weird to do this right now. It's kind of just a little, why should I be creating a tablescape right now? And the thing is, we can celebrate every day. The fact that we wake up every day, maybe I should blow out the candle. What do y'all think? Should I, just in case, isn't this the cutest little juice glass I was using? The thing is, every day that we wake up, we have a new day. Every day that we start, there is a Savior who loves us dearly and passionately, and his love has not waned. And so there is something for us to celebrate. So whether you're home by yourself, whether you're with your family, whether you're with friends, there is always something to celebrate. And if you can't think of something to celebrate, I would highly encourage you just to Google it. I Googled today, and some of the celebrations today are National Picnic Day, National Talk Like Shakespeare Day. So you can take some black and white decorations with maybe accents and pretend you're in the Globe Theater and throw in some British accents. I assume it would be a British accent, and I'm not totally sure. But the fact is, life is too short not to celebrate. And so what we want you to do, we want to challenge you to not just think about hospitality and think about the others you're inviting into your space, to not just create a tablescape, but to celebrate something. What is something you can celebrate right now? And so I'm going to challenge you. Right now I see there are 25 of you. I'm going to challenge all of you to create a tablescape and celebrate something. And then take a picture of it and tag us on Facebook. And the thing is, a tablescape can be a collection of toys on craft paper. One of my favorite shortcuts is to buy a roll of craft paper and use it for just anything. I use it for plates. I use it for a charcuterie board, just craft paper. I use it as the centerpiece all the time. If you have been to any of our Women at IBC events, you have seen craft paper as a centerpiece, and I will say it was courtesy of me. And so those are some of my shortcuts. Wrapping paper, craft paper, trim, those are free. So choose something to celebrate today. Your Tablescape and take a picture, tag us in it, tag Women at IBC, and we just may or may not prize out for some of you who do that. Maybe we can draw a name or something. I'll have to maybe send a little note to Carrie or something, and we'll get you a gift card. So I just want to encourage all of you, create a space. Don't be afraid. Invite people in to love on them and to celebrate them. Because you see, God created all of us. We are all made in the image of this mighty God. And so miss out to sell one another with the gifts and everything that we have. So I just want all of you to know that I love you. It was so good to see you. Thanks for hanging out. And to answer my friend Emily's question, who has taught me many things about tablescapes, you know who you are. Yes, I did blow dry my hair for all of you today so that it would not be so scary. So anyway, love y'all. Have a great night. Bye.